This is probably by far my favorite document to have, the company cheat sheet. It is literally not only a lifesaver, but a time saver. And what this is a document that you can print out, share with people when you're working with them, kind of onboard new employees. That way they know exactly the look of your brand, what font to use, what colors to use, and it just makes their life a lot easier. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I set this up and how you can use it for your own company cheat sheet. If you would like to follow along step by step and create your own company cheat sheet, then head down to my description, click on the link to download this document, but also smash that like button for this awesome template we are about to go over. And if you like it, subscribe. So let's go ahead and hop right in. First thing I'm going to do is actually save this template as a new one. That way I'm not writing over the template, but you can also write into the template if you want to. I preferably don't like to write over templates. And then once I've saved it, then I'm going to just zoom in a little bit and start working on modifying the information. So adding in my company name. You don't have to include the word company, I like to. And then inserting my logo into that section. If you have a variety of logos, you can add them all in, but also reshape them. That way they fit within the document and don't take up too much room. The details section is there for you to add in additional information that helps with your logo. So now I'm moving on to the text. I'm going to replace the text with the actual font name and then change the text font to that font essentially. And then I'll move on to the details where I'll add more information about how I use this text and then follow that to the remaining pieces of text. Again, changing the font of the text to that text. And I also like to add in exactly what the variations of text I use. That way it makes it easier for me to actually make these changes. And then in the details, again, I'm adding in more information as to how I use this text. So one's for the body and then one's for the heading. So these changes are just going to help you kind of utilize the text in the way that you would normally use it across all of your documents. That way you're keeping your brand consistent. And then I also like to kind of just space out the table a little bit. That way it just looks a little bit more organized. Now what I'm going to do is insert an actual image that has all the colors for my brand identity into this Word document, and then I'm going to use the eyedropper to then pull all the information that I need for this color scheme. So now that I've imported that image, I'm going to select on the text color and then select more colors, click on the eyedropper, select the color that I want, and then switch over to a different channel. That way I can see all the codes that I need, and then copy and paste the hex codes into that section. Now I'm going to then apply this color into the box of the table. That way I can identify the colors. Essentially what I'm trying to do is get all of these colors applied to the boxes, and then I pull additional information after I've done this for every single color. So again, I'm just copying with the eyedropper, pasting in the hex, and then changing the box color for that table to that color. Thankfully, Word will actually remember the colors that you use, so it's really simple to just select the color that you just recently sampled from. Here I'm copying again, and then I'm going to paste that into the section and then change the box color to that color, and then continue to repeat that process. If you have additional colors to add, all you have to do is right click on one of the boxes and insert a row below that section, and then just copy and paste the format that I already have into that new section and follow the process over again to add more colors in. If you have less colors, then just delete the row. Now after I have all this information, what I'm going to do is select more colors and then repeat that process, but take the additional values that I am missing. So here are the RGB values that I'm going to now copy into this section. So that way, if I'm using a different application that, let's say I can't put in the hex color, I can still use the RBGs. Now, if the color changes on you, all you have to do is select the eyedropper and sample that color again. Let's switch over to CMYK, that way I can get those values. And then from here, I'm just transcribing literally all the values into the CMYK section. That way I have variations of all the colors that I need. And then I just repeat the process over and over and over again. From here, I'm going to start changing to the different color and then copying again all the information into the new color. That way I have all the values for hex, RGB, and CMYK. One thing that I like doing is verifying all the information is accurate by double checking my work to making sure that the RBG and CMYK values are accurate. If you notice any mistakes, obviously update that value so you are storing and sharing the proper values with people. The reason why I do hex, RBG, and CMYK is I have experienced some applications do not offer the hex color or only take in RBG or CMYK, so I want to be able to make sure I get the accurate color, so I provide myself with all the options possible. And then once I have verified that everything is accurate, now I just move into the other sections. Compliance, this section is for organizations or people who have, for example, licensing that they always have to display. For example, if you're a loan officer or a realtor, you always have to include your NMLS or realtor license with your marketing. So here's a great place to add in those phrases of text that you always use for compliance reasons. When it comes to your phone number, just add in that piece of information. I will sometimes include, for example, the word cell or mobile, or if you have variations of numbers, you can include that into this document. That way you know you're formatting your phone number the exact same way across all of your materials. When it comes to the email, I'll follow the exact same format. I'll add in sometimes the phrase email, that way I can just copy and paste that piece of text into any document that I want to incorporate. And then when it goes into the links, from here, I'm just going to copy and paste all of the links for my platforms into this section. Make sure you also include the HTTP // on all of your links. And if you need more spaces for additional links, then you can again add more rows below this section to do that. And you can also add in more sections for anything that is missing to this document as well. Another thing I like to do is make sure that this document is literally just one page. So if you can squeeze everything into one page, perfect. That way you can print this and post it around your office or share it with people. And then I like to save this not only as the Word document, but also as a PDF. That way I can upload that PDF into, let's say, Google Drive to then access this document from wherever I am at, or even share that document to any organization or person that I'm working with. Great, so now that we have that document, the PDF, inside of Google Drive, now we can actually hop into Google Drive and then find that document. And here now we can access this document from wherever we're at. We can even share this document with people that we're working with. That way they all have that information too. You can even upload your logos and font files and things like that inside of this folder and share the entire folder with them rather than just sharing this document. So I think the company cheat sheet, not only has it helped save so much time and going back and forth trying to figure out, okay, what color that is, what font is that, and all this other things that pop up when it comes to creating content, this is definitely going to help you out. So if you found this helpful, then definitely hit that like button, subscribe, but also head down to my description and you can click on the link to download this template inside of Word. That way you can modify it to match your organization, your brand, whatever you want to call it, and start creating more content. So yeah, have fun.